Today I'll be showing off some of my little quilt pieces, my Halloween quilt pieces. This is my favorite print out of the Halloween prints that I picked out this year. So I'll be doing a little something with it. And for some reason I like this combination of this print here on this side and this gray fabric on this side. So I'll be doing something with these two prints. What I've done here is take those two prints and come up with this 9 patch. I cut 2.5-inch squares to make this 9 patch. The 9 patch is what you would start off with as a beginning quilter, someone that's new to quilter. You would just focus on mastering the 9 patch. The most important thing is to make sure that your squares are the exact same size. If your squares are not the exact same size, then your seams are not going to line up. And one of the main goals in quilting is for the seams to line up. Now I'm going to do my best and sew these squares together so that the seams will line up. And if they don't, then I'm not going to worry about it. You can draw 9-inch squares and cut them out with scissors if you don't have rotary cutter and a ruler. But I have the rotary cutter and I have the ruler. This is the rotary cutter here. This is a 45mm size rotary cutter. If you're cutting curved pieces, you will use the 18mm size. You can also use the 25 or the 28mm to cut, regular size squares. If you want to cut more than one layer of fabric at a time, then you use the 60mm. So I use this rotary cutter and this ruler to cut my squares. Okay. And this is the brand of ruler that you will find in quilt shops. I also use this brand of ruler to do my cutting. So I'm not preferential to either brand. So I use both. I find that this ruler works better with some colors of fabric, and then this ruler works better with some colors of fabric. So this is the Creative Grids ruler. Okay, and this is OmniGrid. This is what I started off with 21 years ago. So I've been into quilting 21 years. And I started off with a beginner hand quilting class, and the 3 blocks that they taught in that class was the 9 patch, the Drunkard's Path. I have uploaded a couple of videos on Drunkard's Path quilt blocks. You can go look at those, and the Dresden plate, which I have yet to do, but I will soon be doing. But yeah, this is my little 9 patch that I came up with. I think it's very cute. For some reason, that gray was popping out to me in this print. So I said, man, I gotta do something with this print in gray. So I got the gray, and then here's the 9 patch. I love this print. This is my favorite print out of the Halloween prints that I end up getting. Look at that little cute owl. I think that's so cute. And the little orange pumpkins and gray pumpkins. I think it's just so cute. So yeah, this is my little 9 patch that I came up with. So I'll go and sew it together into a little quilt top, and then I'll make it a sandwich, then put the binding on. But this is the layout for my upcoming Halloween 9 patch patchwork pot holder. I wouldn't take a look at it again. I think that gray really goes together with this print. So I think I did pretty good. And then I also have another little 9 patch that I made. So I end up with 2 Halloween 9 patch pot holders, or 2 Halloween patchwork pot holders. So cute. This is the quilt top for my upcoming Halloween patchwork pot holder. It would end up being a 6-inch patchwork pot holder. I really don't like my patchwork pot holders to be bigger than 7 inches. I find that 8 inches is too big. So if I'm going for an even number, I would say 6 inches. If I'm going for an odd number, I would say 7 inches. And then for each of my blocks, if you will see, I marked the top with either a color pencil or pencil of a contrasting color. So you see the little green horizontal line? That lets me know that's the top of that block. And that's very important in quilting, to know, to familiarize yourself or be familiar with the crosswise grain, which goes side by side, and then the longwise grain goes up and down. The longwise grain is horizontal to the selfish, so that selfish line goes up and down. That's the longwise grain, and then the other grain is the crosswise grain. Okay, and that's very important when you go to cut prints, because you don't want your finished product to end up being going in the wrong direction, because it really looks awful when the prints are done and then but they're not in the proper direction, with the longwise grain going up and down and the crosswise grain going from side to side. But yeah, this is my little quilt top. My seams lined up pretty good. There was one little hiccup right here. Now in my quilting, I ain't gonna lie, what I started to do, have started doing is, technically, if I wanted the seams to, if I've sewn this together and I look, and then one of my seams are off, I will use the seam ripper to undo this area right here, and then just go back and pin that, and then sew back across it. You don't have to go undo the whole row. You just undo this area where the seam does not line up. Undo it, just line it up, pin it across, and then sew over, and then it should line up. But I try not to do that, because I can't just be doing it trying to get it perfect over and over and over again. So this won't be done here. I'm not using the seam ripper. I'm just going to sew this into a quilt sandwich. Now, when I go to sew my quilt pieces, I use a 80-12, preferably Microtex needle. But if you can't get your hands on Microtex, then I say use the universal. I have success with both, but in quilting, I prefer to use the Microtex needle. So I put a 80-12 needle on my machine to sew these squares together. When I go to sew my sandwich, then I'll take the 80-12 off and put the 90-14 on. I found out today that you can also use the 75-11 to sew all 3 layers together, but I've really never done that, so I just use my 90-14 needle. So yeah, this is the quilt top for my upcoming Halloween patchwork pot holder. And then here's the other one. So I have one with the gray as the background color, which is this one here. And then this one is the orange as the background color, but both are cute. I like this one the best, but I had to do this gray background color because that silver was kind of popping out on me, or this gray was kind of popping out on me. So I said, I got to do one with that gray in the background. So I have me two Halloween patchwork pot holders. Two patchwork pot holders that I hopefully have done by Halloween. So that's it. So then if you can see here how you can use the prints, the colors in the prints, to decide which fabric you want to use for the background colors. Because I could have used white. I did use gray. I did use orange. And then it's like two oranges, like a dark color orange and a light color orange. So that's kind of how you determine what color background color fabrics to use. You just look at the prints and then go from there. Okay, so yeah, these are my two quilt tops for my upcoming Halloween patchwork pot holder, which will end up being a size of 6 inches apiece. And as far as my quilt sandwich, in quilting you have batting that has scrim, batting that has no scrim. Now I have mostly used the scrim batting, but now that I found a batting that doesn't, which is the cotton batting, that doesn't have the scrim, I like it. But the scrim, as a new quilter, it allows you to quilt farther apart. So if you're new to quilting, or you're one person that likes to stitch in a dish because you haven't got the courage to venture out to other types of quilting, then you should use the scrim batting. And that will allow you to quilt for the most part up to about 10 inches apart. And you don't have to worry about the cotton, coming apart. Now in my patchwork pot holders, what I do is just put 3 layers of cotton in them. I don't use the Insul Bright, and that seems to work out. Okay, but again, these are the quilt tops for my upcoming patchwork pot holders. And please make sure that you watch some of my other videos. If you like what I'm doing, you can also subscribe to my channel. But for the most part, I would just like for you all to just watch my other long form videos. I really appreciate that. Okay, so yeah, these are my quilt tops. And I have them on my rotating mat on top of my other mat that's 36 inches across and 24 inches going down. So I like to put my rotating mat on top of my bigger mat. And then what I do is take my little 2-inch strips and cut them on top of this rotating mat, which is very helpful to have as a quilter. Okay, but these are my little quilt tops. These are some more of my Halloween pieces for quilting. These are some 60-degree triangles. If you're watching this video, I've already uploaded a long form video on these triangles, so you can go and watch that. But yeah, these are the triangles for my Halloween triangles for quilting for an upcoming quilt project. And as I stated in my long form video, and I'll stay here, if you can work with squares, you can work with triangles once you grasp the concept of laying them out and sewing them together. And as I stated, I'm stating, there is a lot of helpful information in the long form video that I did on entitled Halloween Triangles for Quilting. So you all can go and watch that. But yeah, this is the layout. These are the Halloween triangles for quilting for one of my upcoming quilt projects that I hope to have done by Halloween. Yeah, so this is it. And I put the little orange in for accent. I was going to go all gray in the black background, but I said I put a little orange in for accent. Yeah, but that's it. This is it. have sewn the first row of my triangles together, and I'll see that I'm wanting you to know that you're still gonna have to cut off these little dog ears. You see it? That has to be cut off. That. Yeah, those little dog ears still have to be cut off. And then you see the little tip. I'll cut that off. And that little tip right there, I want to level that, even that off. So I'm going to take what I'm going to do is take my 16 by 24-inch ruler and just cut off the dog ears, and then that little tip has to come off. So I'll even up the rows with my ruler. But yeah, I've sewn my first row of 60-degree triangles together, my Halloween triangles for quilting. And these little pins, I'll put one of these little pins in the first triangle in each row, so I'll know, that will help me with, keeping my triangles in the proper order. Okay? Aren't they cute? That little cat, he's my favorite character in this print for some reason. Of course I like the pumpkins, but it's just something about that little cat. Look at him, there he is again. Look, there he is again. I like him. And the little smiling pumpkins. And then it's some silver, the little silver pumpkin. See, I like those too. And we always like the orange pumpkin. But yeah, this is my first row of triangles that I've sewn together. And then I'm pressing the seam towards the darker fabric. So that's what I do in my quilting. I always, the majority of the time, I press the my seams towards the darker print. Look at him. And look at a little bat. That's cute too. Okay. I did go ahead and sew my first 2 rows together, and I did go ahead and iron them up and down, trying to help set the seam, the horizontal seam going straight across the row. Hopefully my triangle still line up, but I just had to go on and iron. So I guess I'll be sewing 2 rows together and then ironing. So I'll sew 2 more rows together, and then I will add them to these 2 rows. I did have to add 2 additional triangles because triangles don't measure up like squares, because you're dealing with that 60-degree angle. So instead of having 7 triangles in a row, I end up having 9 triangles in a row. And then instead of having 6 triangles going down, I'll have 8 triangles going down. Yeah, but I sewed my 2 rows together, and this is how they came out. And I did end up using my 6-inch ruler to cut off my little elephant ears or dog ears, whatever you want to say, and the little tips at the top. That 6-inch by 24-inch ruler, that didn't work out for that. So I just got my 6-inch ruler and cut off the ears. So they came out pretty good, as you can see. But yeah, I went on and sewed my 2 rows together, and I did iron it to set the seam because I didn't see how that was going to work out just to sit and not do any ironing. And I was like, no. But when you earn in one direction. So I only earned up and down like that to set the seam. If you iron up and down and side to side, you stretch the fabric, and you definitely don't want to do that with these triangles because you're already cutting on the bias, and once you stretch that bias out, it's not going to line up, and then that just messes up the whole project. So hopefully I just did a little ironing, and hopefully everything works out, but we'll see when I sew the next 2 rows onto these 2 rows. So we'll see how things end up coming out. Okay. I have sewn my second 2 rows on to my first 2 rows. Looks pretty good to me. Now what I am doing is when I go to sew my rows together, I do a little back stitching in this area on the ends to kind of stabilize it when I go to scrub the sides like straight down. So I was calling myself trying to stabilize it for when I go to scrub the quilt top once I finish it. But yeah, this is a little progress on my Halloween quilt triangles, my Halloween quilt pieces. I have sewn, this is half the quilt top because now I just have 4 more rows to sew on. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress. I mean, it doesn't look like it's not lining up at the seams. I do have 2 helpful videos on my community page about 2 other quilters. One is on 60-degree equilateral triangles. It's a little lady sewing at a sewing machine. And then there's another one on apple core quilt blocks if you're interested in curve piecing or working with the apple core blocks. There is 2 videos from 2 quilters. I just posted it on my community page because I thought it would be very helpful to someone interested in sewing those items. That one on equilateral triangles, that is one of the videos that provided me with helpful information when I was, trying to get the courage up to start working with 6-degree triangles. That is the video where I learned that when you're working with triangles, 6-degree triangles, the rows have to be an odd number. And then I figured out myself that in order for it to look right going down, the columns have to be an even number. So I've said this 1,000 times after watching that video. When working with equilateral triangles, 6-degree triangles, it's supposed to be an odd number of triangles going across and an even number of triangles going down, and that really helps, for symmetry purposes or whatever. Okay, but yeah, this is the clip top, well, half of it. So, and it's not taking a long time, which is good. This is another one of my Halloween quilt pieces that I finished. This is giving me everything that I wanted to give, that I expected it to give. yes, I'm 100% pleased. I like the way that the little orange triangles are popping out as my little accent color. But yeah, this is it. And they lined up pretty good. And the black print, that's my favorite print of all the little Halloween prints that I bought. So yeah, it's giving what I wanted to give. I love it. These are 60-degree triangles, and as you can see, I squared up the sides as I just informed you all of. But yeah, this is it. It's perfect. So now all I have to do is to make it into a quilt sandwich, pin baste it, and finalize how I want to quilt it, meaning how I want to go about sewing all three layers together, which would be this quilt top here of these Halloween 60-degree triangles, the cotton in the middle, and then the backing fabric, which would again be this black print. So the finished product is going to be really nice. I appreciate you all for stopping by to watch my video. Please go and watch some of my other videos. But this is my little quilt top. My little Halloween quilt top. These little 6-degree triangles. I love to work with 6-degree triangles. It is a bit more intensive than squares, but it's worth it. And then you're diversifying your portfolio. So yeah, we love the 6-degree triangles. Yeah.